In this video, I'm breaking down the exact 7-step strategy I use to grow from 0 to 150,000 LinkedIn followers in just about 12 months. And guess what? No paid ads and really very little experience on LinkedIn. This isn't just a random accident. It's the same system I've used with hundreds of clients to help them not only get hyper growth on LinkedIn, but also to build and scale their business and most importantly, their personal brands on LinkedIn. By the end of this video, you'll not only know how I did it, but also how you can do it too, with tools and tricks to save you tons of time. The first is profile optimization. Let's start with the foundation, your profile. Think of it as your LinkedIn storefront. It needs to grab attention and make a killer first impression. When someone lands on your profile, they should know exactly who you are, what you do, and why they should care, all within just a few seconds. Here's what you need: a professional but approachable profile picture. I'm not saying you need to suit up unless that's your vibe. Just go for a clean, high quality photo that makes you look confident but friendly. Ditch the old college party pics and get something clean and snappy. Next up is your headline. This is prime real estate. Don't waste it on something generic like your job title. Instead, turn it into a value-packed statement that shows how you help other people thrive. For example, instead of marketing consultant, say helping small businesses double revenue with proven marketing strategies. And then there's your summary. This is where you tell your story. Don't just list your achievements like a robot. Share your journey, your why. When I wrote mine, I talked about how I went from a struggling sales rep 25 years ago to a small business owner to cracking the LinkedIn growth code. People love a relatable story, so give them one. Oh, and keywords, sprinkle them naturally throughout your profile, especially in your headline, summary, and experience sections. This helps your profile show up when people search for expertise in your niche on LinkedIn and on Google. If you're looking for some tools to help you with your profile, Canva is great for creating custom headers, and you can use ChatGPT to help you optimize your LinkedIn profile and about section with a great story. Next is your offer creation. Once your profile is ready, let's talk about your offer, what you're bringing to the table. What do you do? Here's the thing: you can't be everything to everyone. The key is narrowing down your niche and honing in on what makes you unique. Start by asking yourself 3 questions. What do I love doing? What am I great at? And is there a demand for it? These 3 answers will help you figure out your sweet spot. For me, my LinkedIn growth strategy came from a blend of my passion for helping people and my expertise in business growth. That's where I found my offer. Yours should be just as specific. Don't say I help people or I give advice. Say I help coaches and consultants attract high quality leads using a proven LinkedIn content strategy. Clarity is key. If you're stuck figuring out your offer or what lights you up, use the Ikigai framework. Ikigai is a Japanese concept that helps you align your passions with your skills and what the world needs so you can actually make money doing it. It's a total game changer for finding a niche that actually excites you. Next is building 500 plus relevant connections. Here's where most people mess up. They connect with just about anyone for growth. That's not the right move. I know because I did that exact same thing, and it's really hard to undo. I would just connect with anybody on the platform because I thought it would show how popular and smart I was. And while it's true that a certain amount of thought leadership comes with having an engaged audience, it isn't really an asset if it isn't an engaged, relevant audience. If you're serious about LinkedIn growth, your network has to align with your goals. Quality beats quantity every time. Then find about 20 influencers in or around your niche. They can have thousands of followers or millions of followers. What's really important is that they are active and their audience is active too, because we want to interact with them too. I keep a spreadsheet of big accounts and check in with them daily. Sometimes the big influencers engage back if I'm really early to their post time, and sometimes they don't. But what's most important is that I engage with some of their followers and their audience. They are going to become very valuable for our own growth strategy. Start by being very selective. Connect with people in your industry, potential clients, or anyone whose values align with yours. So now that we have some activity, we need to reach out and send some connection requests. And we want to make sure we add a little note so we can stand out of the thousands of other requests that they have. And please don't just send a generic connection request. Personalize it. A simple message like, hey, I noticed we share an interest in business or whatever. I would love to connect and exchange ideas. A good short message goes a long way. And after connecting, don't stop there. Engage with their content and leave thoughtful comments comments and build trust. And yes, it's totally okay to unfollow or disconnect from people who don't bring value to your goals. Keep your network tight and relevant. Here's a quick tip I use to build a relevant network. LinkedIn allows you to send 100 connection requests per week, and we want to max those out. So set a daily goal of sending about 10 or 12 or 13 personalized, relevant connection requests. Small daily actions compound to huge results over time. Next is picking a niche that works for you. Your niche is everything. It's not just about what sounds trendy or glamorous. It has to work for you. And for me, especially when you're just starting out, we want to be as sub-niche as possible. Here's how niching really works in your favor, not only for building the right audience, but also for crafting and pricing your offer. Here's an example of the power of sub-niching to really help you understand. If you're a personal trainer and your offer is something like, I help you get in shape, then maybe you could charge $50. But if your offer is something like, I help women get in shape, now it shows you're a specialist with women, and women love that. So you could charge $80 an hour. But if your offer is something like, I help middle-aged women lose 30 pounds in 30 days, now you could charge $250. But we can go further. If your offer is something like, I help middle-aged women lose 30 pounds in 30 days without giving up wine or your favorite foods, now you can charge anything you want. And if you find those people on here, you will be their go-to source for weight loss. And if you do a good job, they're going to refer all of their friends. Make sense? This is the power of a sub-niche. If you're stuck trying to figure out what to do, ask yourself, what do I love? What am I good at? And is there a market for it? This is where the concept of Ikigai comes back. It's all about finding the overlap between what you're passionate about, what you're skilled at, and what the world needs. If you're still unsure, try this little trick. Once you have a couple ideas narrowed down, spend 30 minutes researching niche ideas. Then validate them by engaging with your target audience to see what resonates. Let them tell you what you should do. Number 5 is building a content strategy that works daily. Content is where the magic happens. This is how you prove your expertise, build trust, and attract your audience. First, know your audience. What challenges are they facing? What do they want to learn? Then, create content that speaks directly to them, to one of them. Share wins and failures. People love authenticity. If you're just starting out and you really want to blow up your audience and reach as many people as possible, I recommend posting lots of top of funnel or tofu content. This is the type of content that reaches a broad audience and isn't really focused on selling anything or talking about yourself too much. This type of content is more likely to get shared and liked, which is what it takes in order for a post to go viral. If you start posting lots of stuff about how much you know, or your masterclass, or your books, or your coaching services you offer, and you don't already have an engaged audience, it's likely gonna fall flat. Stick with the broad content and start to gradually splash in some of your expertise over time. And as you start building a more engaged audience, this is going to be more effective. This is the best long-term strategy to build a solid foundation. Next, mix up your formats. Text posts, images, carousels, short videos. Always start with a hook that grabs attention, because if that first line doesn't pop, no one's clicking see more. So here's my posting formula, and now that I'm telling you this, you're going to recognize it pretty easily. Strong hook line, sub hook, supporting text, helpful context, the body of the post, closing comments or question, CTA or a call to action. It's going to feel weird posting like this at first if you've never done it before, and maybe it might not be so compelling, but in time, if you're consistent, you'll become a pro. Consistency is a non-negotiable. I aimed for daily posts when I started, and while it wasn't easy, batching content together in advance, it saved me. It's all about building strong habits. So here's a pro tip. I use ChatGPT for ideation and Buffer for scheduling posts ahead of time so you can stay consistent without the stress. Next, I would dedicate 1 day a week to batch create content. Think of it as meal prepping, but for LinkedIn. So number 6 is the commenting strategy that changed the game. Comments are gold mines. Instead of just scrolling and engaging with anybody who pops up, find high value posts in your niche and leave thoughtful comments. Don't just say great post. Add value by sharing your perspective or asking a follow-up question. The goal is to create a conversation, not just a comment. This not only boosts your visibility, but positions you as an authority. People will click your profile to see who you are, and boom, you're building relationships. So here's another pro tip. Set a timer for 15 minutes each day to comment on 3 high engagement posts. And number 7, networking and finding a mentor. Networking is the secret sauce. But here's the thing, it's not about cold DMing influencers, it's about building genuine connections. Earlier, I talked about how I kept a list of influencers and big accounts I would make it a point to engage with every single morning when I started, but most of them never noticed me. And I share that list with the people in our Epic Entrepreneurs group. But again, start by engaging thoughtfully, comment on their posts and show genuine interest. When the time feels right, send a message that's personal and specific. When I found my first LinkedIn mentor, it wasn't by asking, can you be my mentor? I built trust first by adding value, like sharing an article or promoting their work. Relationships thrive on mutual support. One thing I use is Sales Navigator. It's a great tool and it can help you find contact details for personalized outreach. I share my exact outreach system that I use to generate dozens of qualified leads and 30,000 a month in another video. And I share it with my weekly group too, which you're invited to. But LinkedIn Sales Navigator, it's not 100% necessary. It's a convenience tool. If you have $100 a month to spare, it's a great investment. But if you don't, you could do most of it on a regular LinkedIn platform. And there you have it. That's the bulk of it. That's how we build a relevant, engaged audience and a personal brand on LinkedIn, and how we start to build a stable, profitable business and become a thought leader. There are, of course, many other systems we need to set up to drive that traffic into our business, and I share those in detail in the Epic Entrepreneurs community, which you can join for free below. So if you're serious about growing and monetizing your LinkedIn profile and your business, join our free community. You'll get daily resources, insider strategies, and a supportive group working towards success together. The link is in the description. Let's make it happen. I'm wishing you massive success, and I'll see you soon.